You're listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.
Does this change our Korea operations strategy, and what needs a board-level decision now? It's Monday, June 15th. Let's look at a business story shaping corporate Korea. Today's deep dive uses recent reporting from the Seoul Economic Daily to unpack, well, a massive regulatory shock in enterprise software, and also a really rapid capital-intensive shift in display manufacturing.
Yeah, and our goal here is to figure out what these colliding geopolitical and hardware realities actually mean for you as multinationals operating in Korea because, well, the regulatory shock here is unprecedented in its mechanism.
Right, this is the U.S. Bureau of Industry and Security Action, right, on June 12th.
Exactly, the BIS. They blocked all non-U.S. nationals from accessing Anthropic's new Mythos 5 and Fable 5 AI models. And this was triggered just 3 days after launch.
Just 3 days, wow.
Yeah, but the scope is the real story here. It legally includes foreign nationals who are physically located inside the United States.
Wait, so let's look at how that actually works in practice. Because a traditional embargo stops, physical cargo at a port.
Right, it stops physical goods.
But this is a digital embargo, like restricting a software brain instead of shipping containers. An IP address block isn't enough if the user is sitting in San Francisco.
No, it isn't. Cloud providers have to actually enforce identity and nationality verification at the API level now.
So if you have a mixed nationality engineering team in the same conference room, the American engineer can use the tool, but the foreign national next to them is just locked out.
They are completely locked out. It creates immediate operational friction, and this collides directly with the broader Korean corporate AI scramble.
The AX timeline, right? AI transformation.
Exactly. Right as this U.S. access regulation dropped, SK Group mandated one AI agent per employee at their 2026 Icheon forum.
And it's not just the tech conglomerates making these moves. The Financial Services Commission, the FSC, they just selected 4 major banks, Shinhan, Hana, Woori, and Kakao Bank.
To relax the network separation rules, right?
Yeah. For years, Korean banks had to keep internal systems physically air-gapped from the external internet for security.
Which made cloud-based AI completely impossible.
Totally impossible. But by dropping that air gap, they're unlocking AI for their core operations. And 10 to 20 more institutions are scheduled to follow in August and September 2026.
Precisely. You have the entire Korean corporate sector wiring itself for rapid AI integration at the exact moment U.S. regulators are showing they can sever access to foundational models based entirely on user nationality.
It's a huge collision. But let's connect this to the physical layer. Because if every conglomerate and bank is deploying AI agents, those software agents need physical interfaces.
Advanced screens, devices.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are the hardware supply chains shifting as fast as these software mandates?
Oh, they definitely are. The numbers show a massive realignment. Just look at the OLED display market. Over a 5-year window, Korea's dominant market share dropped from 87.3% in 2020 down to 68.7% in 2025.
And China picked up that slack.
They did. In that exact same window, China nearly tripled its share, rising from 12.1% to 31.2%. The technology gap between the two countries has narrowed to just 1 to 2 years now.
Which brings us to the 8.6 generation fabrication lines in the CapEx reports. And for you listening, 8.6 generation refers to the physical size of the glass substrates used for these screens.
Right. Larger glass means you can cut more screens at once.
Which drastically lowers production costs and dictates who controls the market's profit margins.
Well, margin control is exactly why Samsung Display invested 4.1 trillion won, which is about 2.9 billion USD, for an 8.6 generation line that became fully operational in Q2 2026.
But the competitive entry dates are super tight here because China's BOE is activating its own 8.6 generation line right behind them in Q3 2026.
Yeah, the timing is critical.
So bringing this software access vulnerability together with this tightening hardware race, what is the core takeaway for the C-suite listening right now?
Does this require a board-level contingency decision on your AI stack architecture, supply chain vendor mix, or Korea AX timeline? The Anthropic model-level export controls mean any enterprise AI architecture, depending on a single U.S. origin API, now carries a regulatory discontinuity risk requiring a documented contingency, not just a vendor clause. Furthermore, China's BOE entering 8.6 generation OLED production in Q3 2026 means multinationals sourcing display components must immediately stress test their Korea-China vendor split against a scenario where technology parity arrives 12 to 18 months earlier than modeled.
You will definitely want to monitor your hashtag CocoSPI exposures based on these shifting geopolitical and hardware realities. And as you review your internal blueprints, consider this. If software access can be revoked overnight based purely on a passport, are we looking at a near future where multinational hiring and office locations are dictated more by API geopolitical restrictions than by actual talent? That's today's AI Prism, CEOs. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI Prism is a 1 IFRA award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.